the difference between these three pieces of paper? What's the difference? So this says 20 as a different president, different ink on it. This says 5, different president, different ink on it. This says a 100, different president, different ink on it. What's the difference? It's the same size. They're all the same size. Same amount of ink on there. They're basically the same weight. There's no difference. Really. The difference is what people will accept for payment. If you are purchasing something for $100, they won't accept this piece of paper, even though it's the same size, same amount of ink on it, but they will accept this piece of paper. It's the same size as that $5 or $1 bill, or a 20 or a 50. It's the same amount of ink on it. They'll accept this if you're buying something for $100 versus accepting this. So, why? Because the government says this is what you need to use for your commerce. For all purposes, all purchasing purposes, public and private, this is legal tender, all that mumbo jumbo. That's what they're saying. These are the bill form of that. The difference between this and the digits on your credit card, in your bank account, in savings accounts, checking accounts, no different. Same thing. Except this has a little bit more value to it when hyperinflation happens, the economy comes down, because this can be used to start a fire. The digits that are yours can be wiped away. Bank accounts can be frozen. You can't freeze this. You can't wipe this away. So that's one thing that's different between these and digits. So they're going to initiate, and they are, and it's going forward, come early 2021. January 1st was the date they have to get everyone underneath the Federal Reserve to have some form of digital wallet, they call it, digital account. And that is when they're going to officially start getting rid of this and making this non-acceptable for purchasing food, services, anything else you want and or need. So that's the difference between the paper and the digit. Now, you exchange this for something. You want to get something for somebody, someplace that's a $100 bill, or $100, excuse me. You give them this $100 bill, they'll accept it. Okay? So when hyperinflation happens and this starts to become worth less and less, they will no longer accept this $100 bill for the same items that they will today. Even if that's a month from now or 2 years from now, you will not be able to use this for the same amount of goods and services that you can today. Same thing goes for it. This could buy so much more goods and services 50 years ago than it can today, even 20 years ago than it can today. Why is that? Inflation. What's inflation? Inflation is the hidden tax, the mark that they say they want 2% a year. Well, what does that mean? That means every year this is worth 2% less in purchasing power every year. So 10 years this is worth 20% less in purchasing power. Simple math. So the difference between this and these are 1 ounce American Eagles. So these are 4 ounces of silver right here. This, $100. Today, this, $100. Because this is about $25 an ounce right now for silver. $100, $100. You're doing business. You're exchanging. Someone wants to purchase something from you. Whatever the circumstances, would you rather accept this or this? Well, I would say 99% of the people out there say, well, give me this. versus this. Why is that? Well, I got a few reasons. It's my opinion, is because they think and know that most people accept this as of now. Once hyperinflation hits and that kind of stuff, then this is no longer the case. There's no longer confidence in this, but for now, most people accept it. A lot of people don't know what this is or what this is worth, and they see maybe it doesn't have value. They, I bet, would not think this is worth $100 right here, this little stack. Even though this has more weight, has more use, in the end, for a whole plethora of things, versus this. Once this value goes away, the confidence is lost, all this is good for is possibly starting a fire. This is good for many other uses. I have a list, so that's silver and gold. I just have silver, for example, here. If you use that for exchange, I think why would you want to exchange goods and services for something that has really no value to it whatsoever? Nothing. It's just a piece of paper. No different than the paper that you write on. Why would you want to exchange your hard work, your labor, your item that you've created or the item that you've held on to over something that has real value and real use to it? I'll just list a few of the uses. With gold and silver, there are many other uses for them other than exchange. Electronics. It's used in electronics. Jewelry. Gold and silver is used in jewelry. Solar panels. Silver is highly used in solar panels. Electric vehicles. Silver is highly used in electric vehicles. You can't say the same for this piece of paper. But this has real value to it, real uses to it. So not only are you exchanging your goods and services for something that has a real value to it, that can't be inflated away, that they can't just take from you, the purchasing power of it. This doesn't raise in value. It doesn't go up. What happens is the dollar, our currency, goes down in value. The more and more they print, you can purchase less and less with it. That's the difference. So, I'm going over this because I know they're pushing us digital. A lot of people don't know about that's right around the corner, and a lot of people are comfortable with that because, well, they're like, well, what's the difference? Right now, I don't use cash in the store. It's fine. I use my check card, my credit cards. It's easier, it's simpler, that kind of stuff. Easy, simple. I guess that depends on your perspective. But is it better? In my opinion, absolutely not. Why? Well, like I said, you can freeze a bank account. They can see what and when you purchased. They can see what you're purchasing, and if they don't agree with something, whether that is firearms or that's something as far as some sort of dietary thing they don't believe with, they don't believe you should be purchasing some sort of service they don't believe you should be involved in, they can shut off your account or say it's not available for use here at X and X or YY service. With this they cannot, but as they inflate this, you can buy less and less of the goods and services. With these, they can't do either. They can't freeze you out, and they cannot take away the purchasing power that this has, gold and silver. So think about that. We're getting to a point where there's going to be no way to get on this train to protect yourself and get out of the system the best you can to make it better for your family and your future. On that note, I want to just sort of veer away. I know I've showed different kinds of silver and different kinds of collectibles to try to get children involved and keep their interest in there. I got some videos on that kind of stuff, but I just wanted to show this because thinking as a child, one of my favorite cartoon characters was, and still great to this day, it is Scrooge McDuck. So I don't know if you can see that. This is a 1 ounce silver round with Scrooge McDuck on it. And he was always a hero to me. people said he was greedy and he was not for the working man, not for the person, but he was actually portrayed, this character was actually portrayed as a really good guy and very smart, wealth-wise, currency-wise. And that was back in the day when I did a video on this, when cartoons actually taught a little bit about currency and money and inflation, that kind of stuff, which is wiped out of the cartoons nowadays, wiped out of schools nowadays. They really didn't teach it much back in the day, but at least they didn't veer away from it if it was brought up. Same with the cartoons. So I will put a link into that video where I've learned more about cartoons than I did in all my years of schooling. And at the end of it, I have a few minutes from some snippets of cartoons that show, just them talking about monetary system and money. And then there's Scrooge McDuck talking about that kind of stuff. So I just get out there, just look. I'll put a few links in the description below. But as always, thank you for watching. Stay vigilant. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Protect your wealth.